is the offender, and he will be prosecuted under Brazilian law, which means death by pushing out of a six-story building.
Death for infringe of copyright is a common thing in Brazil. I remember someone made a fake T-shirt once with Michael Jackson on, and they were killed instantly by a copper who they've actually got. Well, not sorry, a policeman, a paramilitary style unit, I believe here, and well they've got the right to kill anyone that is infringing copyright on the spot, and he was killed with a bullet lodged between the sternum and the crevasse.
And yes, there was the other case where a young man impersonated Elvis and was killed for it. But actually, this person, I believe, was Elvis. Of all the millions of impersonators, this was the one. And unfortunately, he was killed. And all that, yes, we have moved on in Street Fighter 2 Turbo to Red Bricks. And that is a bit loud. I don't think you'll be able to hear me, so I'll just turn it down a bit. I've just been assured by Don Watts that my voice can still be heard, so for that screeching and moaning in your ears, that's still me. Okay, back to you, Tony.
Yes, I can still hear you. That's the amazing technology here we have available to us in the commentary provision. In the comment provision. And I'm going out for a bike ride now, so I won't be back for quite some time.
And yes, I believe my employer has just invested over $2 million in computer equipment to improve your home entertainment of our commentary. And Tony Trabbit has left us for now and has left me in charge. And yes, we are alone in a commentary position, just me and Don Watts, and yes, Laura Palmer's just walked in the door. And yes, I believe she has the wrong studio. Now, at the end of that bout, yes, Roy was again once victorious. Excuse my vocabulary. I have just spent 6 months over in France on a extended holiday, and I have forgotten how to speak English. And yes, those Hirukis are really fucking up Guile, and he is now unconscious. The medics are running out to see if they can restore his left limb to the rest of his body after Ryu has just annihilated him. And yes, it is a very good victory, and Ryu recommends more training for Guile. And yes, Gumby has just walked in amongst us. Gumby has just walked in amongst us, and yes, he's riding his horse, Pokey. Now Gumby is a very interesting fellow because no matter how much you try to physically abuse him, it makes no impression on his very soft skin, I think it's called. Yes. And I think we should cross over to some other sport, as this is getting very boring. Don't you think so, Don? And now I just shall experiment with the mixing board a little bit more. Very interesting stuff, this $2 million computer technology which I mentioned before, which apparently retails for only $19.95 at most retail stores, but our employer is a bit of a fuckhead and he got ripped off. And as a result, my wages have been cut by 10%, and I'm very annoyed with that. Despite all my fans out there I know who love me so dearly, I might have to quit this business and move into shoveling manure at a local sewage, which pays a lot better and is more glamorous work. And yes, we're here on downtown Buffalo at, I'm not sure the name of the town, but and we are here at the local pier where Ryu has just got his ass kicked. And yes, I see Dick Tracy in the back there. Yes, it's Dick Tracy, yes. And we shall run up to him and interview him when we see him next. And Dick Tracy, I believe, is making a new movie, but he won't be starring for Madonna. He shall be starring with, what's another female actor's name? Fuck if I know. Shit, my mind is blank at the moment. He'll be starring with Cher, who shall be playing that the role of Madonna, as she's a far better actor and comes a lot cheaper. And yes, Dick Tracy's back there, and we shall, on the right, in the standard yellow coat, waving his arm up and down, giving a signal to his secret police to move in and get the Russian communists, which actually is a big thing over in America, since the massive hangover from the Cold War is still leaving mass paranoia, and people are running around with guns blowing up anyone who claims to be of a communist descent. And even if you happen to be a socialist, well, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to lose your head. And yes, the soccer season over in Europe seems to be going fairly well, but I could be crossing over to that, as you cannot see that on the screen. And it looks like Ken and Ken are fighting. I have my money on Ken, and yes, Ken has won, so I take the prize. And Dick Tracy seems to be very happy about that decision, and so is John Travolta. John Travolta is in the backstage, and he's dancing away for some light entertainment for those who don't appreciate physical violence. And yes, I believe he's with Olivia Newton-John, who are apparently running on a new movie, which with a bit of work might take the greatest movie in the world title from their previously made movie, which I don't need to mention its title. Oh yes, and Mike Bison uses that airplane sound to kick people's asses, and and Ken just does not have a chance against the mighty Mike Bison. But Bison is dizzy, and Bison has lost. He needs to turn around for those people who bet their money on Bison. And those bookies down there are rubbing their hands. But they shouldn't be, because I put $10,000 on Ken to win, and that should snap up about $10 million against his odds. And yes, I happen to be looking at the motley collection of used and old tapes in the commentary room here. And yes, I feel we should bring up the current event of news which is plaguing our minds in this current environment of Australia, and that is, yes, of course, the use of plastic bags in shopping centres. I personally think that shopping bags should be boycotted from all shopping centres, and people seen carrying shopping bags should be shot on sight. But we are not a backward country, so we must respect the rights of other people and what they think, even though if they are wrong. And boy, did Bison's face look really fucked then. I think he's going to need plastic surgery to restore it to its original radiance. And there's occasional giggle from across the room. I think I might be able to get that particular person to come over here and do some commentary, because I think you get a bit sick of my voice, aren't you? Yes, this is a definite smile from over there. And yes, I believe that some lovely ladies will be walking in later on to give me, so I can engage in the act of tit fucking. And now, I just have to clear my throat there, and yes, I actually happen to have a large metal rod shoved down my bronchial tubes, which makes breathing slightly difficult. That's why I wheeze a bit sometimes. So just switch on your Dolby NR on your stereo, and you will not hear the wheezing. In fact, I'll be able to switch it on here, and it